In today's video, you're going to learn how to stand up tall without locking your knee out. So this video is in particular good for those of you that every time you go to straighten your knee out, you feel like your weight kind of throws backwards, especially for those of you that have hemiparesis, very common problem. So if that is you, then this video is perfect for you. If you're new to this channel, I'm Tara, I'm a neurologic physical therapist, and on this channel we talk about anything and everything related to mobility, health, fitness, and mindset in the context of neurologic injury with the end goal of empowering you with as many tools as possible to take ownership of your rehab and your health, to live an overall more active, more mobile, pain-free, happier, healthier life. Now, why does this happen? For those of you that every time you try and straighten your knee out, it either throws you backwards, or every time you try and lift your chest or tuck your bottom in, you feel like your knee locks out. Most common reason is we have these things called abnormal synergy patterns. For those of you that have been around for a while, this isn't anything new for you. The abnormal synergy pattern that is influencing this abnormal movement is an extensor pattern. So when you try and extend your hip, the only way, some of you, not all of you, if you have this emerging pattern or this pattern that comes out, is that your foot will point, okay, and your knee will lock out. So anytime you try and do any one of those, all three happen at the same time. And so you have this tendency to feel like you're falling backwards. Now, the other thing that is kind of a close cousin to this group, the other thing that can kind of influence this as well, if some of you notice it a lot when you're walking, another part of this extensor synergy pattern is adduction, meaning the leg crosses midline. So follow my logic here, follow me along here. So when you are standing on that leg, if you're someone that's working on trying to tuck your butt in, if you're standing on that leg and all of those things happen at the same time, you want to straighten your knee out, or your brain wants to straighten your knee out because you don't want your knee to buckle, you don't want to fall, your foot is going to point, throwing you backwards, and then the leg adducts. But if it's on the floor, what happens? Your bottom kind of goes out to the side, right? So all of those things happen at the same time. So here's my little quick tip. For starters, you're going to put your foot so that it's slightly underneath a chair, okay? So what that's doing is it's going to keep your knee bent and your foot flexed, okay? So remember, part of that is that your foot is pointing and it's throwing you backwards, okay? So we're slightly under the chair so that the chair keeps that knee bent. This is your involved leg. And then if you can, you want to kind of put a wall over here on your uninvolved side, all right? And then you're just going to lift your opposite heel and then lift the foot. Now, the hand on the wall, you don't want to be leaning into the wall. The hand on the wall is to kind of give you a little bit of a counter force so that you can just work on isolating, bringing that hip in and forward. Okay, this is for those of you that aren't working with a therapist. Of course, I think manual cues are better because a therapist can kind of grade how much they're helping you, which is something that's kind of difficult to do on your own. But if you're trying to work on this on the own, and again, you always feel like your butt's popping out to the side, and it's not straight up weakness. I've made lots of videos on a Trendelenburg gait. That's something different. We're talking about someone that has an abnormal synergy pattern in the leg, creating this abnormal movement. So you want to block that knee, right? Keep that foot flexed, shift your weight, center your body over that foot, hand on the wall, and then lift your other foot. Once you're there, what the cue I want you to give yourself is bringing that hip forward, okay? Don't think just straightening it out. It's a little bit of a different cue, but when people do that, they kind of throw themselves backwards. Just think little bit forward. You're just little bit. You overdo it, it's going to throw you backwards, okay? Little bit. And then put that foot down. Now, go back, shift. Now you're going to hover your hand so you're not actually touching the wall. Squeeze, heel lift, foot lift. The whole time working on squeezing that hip in. Now, if that doesn't work, then we start pulling out tools to assist with that. All right, this strap, it's around your uninvolved leg. Some of you might need help to get into this, but you can sit in the chair. Sit in the chair. Get it under your foot. Stand up. Wrap it around. So see, it's coming behind my bottom on this side. Okay? Same setup. You're going to kind of keep that knee pressed up against that chair so it's slightly bent. You're not going to lift your leg up for this one, and you really want to make sure it's not pulling too hard. You just want a little bit of help. Okay, this is for those of you that are really sitting back or your hips really coming out. You just want a little bit light resistance because you don't want it to pull you forward, because then you're just going to lean back more. And all you're going to do is shift, heel lift. This is your uninvolved leg. This strap is bringing your hip forward on this side. Okay, so this is your involved leg. Just rewind it or go back to the beginning and just rewatch how I wrapped this around. Okay, so it's bringing that hip forward. Bringing that hip forward. You're just going to do a shift. If you can create this setup, you really want to make sure you're safe. And then you're just doing heel lifts. And this is going to help kind of just bring that hip forward for those of you that are sitting your hip back. Okay? But that is it for this video. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did and you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so that you'll get notified every time I upload new videos. I enjoyed spending time with you all today, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.